Virgo. There is a silence that lives between the notes of a melody, a purity that precedes the first breath. This space, Virgo, is your sacred sanctuary. To speak of you is to speak not of criticism, but of an innate yearning for clarity, not of perfectionism, but of a deep, inner prayer directed at the order in a world that often seems woven from chaos. The world often sees only the outer shell, practicality, attention to detail, a seeming coolness. It slaps on labels, pedantic, nitpicky, overly diligent. But this is to mistake the scalpel for the surgeon's hand, the tool for the healing intention. Your true nature is not in finding fault, but in an unquenchable faith in the potential hidden within the rough ore of life. You are the gardener of the human soul, the tireless laborer who tills the inner soil so it may receive the seeds of greatness. This is the humble strength of Virgo, a strength not thunderous but patient, like the force of a sprout breaking through asphalt. Your power lies in your perceptive attentiveness, in the ability to see connections invisible to others, patterns in apparent disorder. You are a living filter, separating the essential from the trivial, finding clarity in the eye of the storm. You do not seek to control the wind, but learn to set the sails with such artistry that any wind becomes favorable. Your steadfastness is not the monumentality of a rock, but the flexible resilience of reed that bends but does not break, because its strength is in its deeply hidden roots, reaching into the soil of real, practical knowledge. And because of this acute sensitivity to the world's imperfections, you carry within you a particular, subtle pain, the ache of inevitable discord, the sorrow of the undone, the shadow of duty unfulfilled. You feel the gap between the ideal and the real as a physical wound. Loneliness comes to you not as an emptiness, but as a burden of responsibility you feel you carry alone, as the quiet dread that your efforts will never be enough. But it is in this fire of dissatisfaction that your greatest virtue is forged, compassionate wisdom. You learn to distinguish the healthy striving for growth from the exhausting pursuit of a phantom. You discover that true wholeness often arises not from flawlessness, but from accepting and healing your own cracks, through which, as the saying goes, the light enters. This deep connection with the principle of meaningful labor makes your relationship with the physical world, with the body, with matter itself, deeply sacred. For Virgo, the body is not merely a shell, but the first and foremost temple, requiring care, fine-tuning, and respect. You find the divine not in loud mantras, but in the rhythm of breath during morning exercise, in the nourishing simplicity of food prepared with love, in the satisfaction of a clean, ordered space that becomes an external reflection of inner harmony. You are the priest of the everyday, turning routine into ritual and duty into an act of service. Through you, the world learns that holiness is hidden in neatly folded clothes, in a task completed on time, in a small but sure gesture of help. And it is this gift, the gift of meaningful, quality action, that the world so desperately needs right now. In an age of endless information noise, superficial connections, and fleeting content, you, Virgo, become an anchor of authenticity. You are the antidote to chaos, a living reminder that resilience is built from small, consistent steps, not from grand but empty gestures. You show that true freedom is born not from permissiveness, but from self-discipline, that care for details is not pedantry, but the highest form of respect for life. In a world racing towards vague goals, your ability to slow down and do one thing, but do it well, is a revolutionary act of love for reality. But even the most fertile garden becomes depleted if not fertilized and allowed to rest. Your source lies in conscious moments of silence, in activities that nourish the soul rather than deplete it, in accepting that good enough is often the ideal in a world of limitations. The trap is to allow the tool of analysis to turn into a weapon of self-flagellation, to let the inner critic become your only voice. It is to fail to see the forest for the trees, to miss the raw, wild, unpolished beauty of the present moment in the pursuit of perfection. Do not let the world convince you that your value is determined solely by your usefulness. Your essence is deeper. It is the very pulse of life, seeking expression through form. So let this knowing be your final awakening: you are not a project to be endlessly improved. You are not a checklist of unfinished tasks. You are already whole. The very clarity you seek, the order you strive to impose, these are not external goals. They are echoes of your own, original, inner nature. A river does not labor to be pure, it simply flows, and the silt settles on its own. You, Virgo, In all your attentive, sensitive, serving humanity are already the garden, the gardener, and the fruit itself. You are not becoming whole. You are already whole. If this message found its way to your heart, if you felt seen, reminded, or gently called back to yourself, thank you for being here. If you'd like to hear more reflections like this, consider subscribing to our channel. Every sign, every soul, every season deserves to be honored, and we're honored to walk this path with you. A like means more than you know. It helps this quiet voice reach others who might need it. And if you're looking for beauty that feels true, thoughtful, practical, and made with care, we warmly invite you to visit Anahop, our trusted partner and a truly special online store. From cozy home essentials to mindful self-care treasures, they offer pieces that honor both comfort and soul. Right pointing back hand index. You'll find the link to Anahop in our profile. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being you. And remember, you are already whole.